Hey, you guys, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I have Jamison right here with me because this is a very special video. We're going to share with you a compilation of beautiful Christmas DIYs that we've done this season so that you can be inspired. But before we do that, we want to take a second to recognize that we celebrated Thanksgiving yesterday.
Correct.
So we want to say a few things that we're thankful for. What are you most thankful for?
Thankful for family and health.
Okay, I am so thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my family as well. I'm thankful that we have a roof over our heads, a car to drive, that we have food in the refrigerator.
100%.
I am so thankful that we have you guys that continue to watch these videos here on the channel. We have so much fun this season.
Oh my gosh, we've been so busy.
We have been
Done so much.
We've done a lot of Christmas DIYs, but we're coming down to the end of it.
Sadly, we are.
Yeah, and we're already planning what we're going to be doing next year for the holiday season, of course, and then, of course, for the rest of the year. But with no further ado, we just want to say Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And we are going to get started with this compilation of Christmas DIYs. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to share with your friends on Facebook.
Instagram.
And
WhatsApp.
why?
Because it's free.
And
It helps the channel.
thank you guys. James is always behind the camera, so he's learned all of my monologue at this point.
Exactly.
All
yeah,
right,
it
well,
helps.
let's get started. And here it is, our beautifully decorated Christmas tree, you guys. How absolutely gorgeous this turned out on the urn. And I want to mention real quick that the only thing you have to do to change the look of your home this holiday season is change a few pillows, add a few florals, and you too can have this gorgeous look. But I just want you to see real quick how stunning this turned out. I'm going to get closer to give you a close-up of these ribbons, the beautiful gold ribbon that just shimmers, all of these beautiful gorgeous pics with the berries, the poinsettias, the types of greenery just add a beautifully whimsical look to this gorgeous Christmas tree. I really hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did putting it together, and I cannot wait to come back with even more ideas for your home this holiday season. I cannot wait. All right, so let's get started with this beautiful arrangement or centerpiece for your home. So what I did is I went ahead and added the foam to my container, and then also I put a little bit of moss all the way around. This container, you guys, is from Shinoda Design Center, and I'm gonna start with this beautiful flat cedar that actually you can find at Walmart, and I love it because it comes in this big stem like this. You guys, I just been pulling out on it. It's really sometimes easy, sometimes it's a little bit hard, but as you guys can see, it's just comes apart. And this particular one, actually, I like all the way like that. So actually, I'm gonna take that one out. But I even like the little stem right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and insert it right here, like this. And so as you guys can see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way around with my centerpiece. I want it to be grained and full. Remember that the Ralph Lauren, it's all about the greeneries. We have to get some different kinds of greeneries to fill in our centerpiece, and we want it to spill forward. So like this one right here that bends, so I'm going to just insert it going down and just let it cascade down like this. And I'm going to insert some of these beautiful greeneries like so. Look, one stem really just got me a lot of it. Now I also recommend to have this beautiful Lazy Susan because it allows you to move it around and to see where it is that you need movement, right? Like that right here I'm going to add. Now I'm going to cut this other stem that came with it. Remember, it comes with this, and I'm going to put it right here on the top. So this is what it's looking like. I have my pick machine right here because I might have to pick some of my greeneries, and also I have this other stem right here. You guys, this, believe it or not, it's a pine that came on a garland, and I'm always telling you to just see what else you can use that for. So this right here came from Walmart, and I love it. Now when you insert your greeneries, remember to give them a little bit of a twist, so that way you can see what we call in the industry the money maker. Like this particular one has a pine cone right here, so we want to make sure that we show some of those pine cones, and the way we do that is by giving them a little bit of a twist. I'm going to add this guy right here, and then I'm going to insert some of them going down as well. We want to fill in as many types of greenery as possible with this particular Look how pretty that is. That's grand and lavish, and I just absolutely love it. All right, so now I'm gonna put this guy in. This has a beautiful berry and it has a white tint, and it all makes sense because I have other ones that have a white. They look almost like flock. They're so pretty, and look at that. It fills in so well, and now it has the berry. Remember, we're going to add some red to this because the Ralph Lauren theme is all about the nature and all of that mixture of foliages and natural elements, and in this case it's going to be that berry. So that's 3 of them. We're gonna probably add about 5. So I'm gonna add some towards the edge so that way I can go down. Look, see how that elongates. And you know, one of my favorite things when I worked at the flower shop was to play with different types of greenery, and my favorite one was the holly. I love playing with holly during the, and we said play, but that's actually like work. I love working with holly, especially during the holiday season, because it was just so elegant. A whole arrangement of just holly, it makes the trick. All right, you guys, so here is this cute little arrangement that looks absolutely adorable here on the table. As you guys can see, it goes so well with these beautiful plaids. The red is just absolutely gorgeous and super easy to make. I just want to add the little detail right here of the ribbon. It just creates a beautiful spectacle for the holiday season, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. So I'm gonna cut some of these guys right here, and remember, we want to cut them short because we want them to be as far in. Then also don't forget to play with the head of the flower right here as well. So I'm gonna add one right here, and then I'm going to cut one for the middle. This is like the biggest one, so I'm going to spin a little bit over towards this way, and I'm gonna go right here and just bend the head a little bit forward so it shows. Have this other one right here, comes with a foliage. Remember to save that foliage. We can just go ahead and insert it somewhere towards the back, and it's going to make it look more cohesive. So I'm gonna go right here as well, bending it. And so now I'm gonna go over to this side. I'm gonna cut them a little bit shorter, and I'm gonna go over to this side. And let me see, I need to see forward what it is. And I feel like I need one over on this corner right here as well. So I'm gonna insert this guy right here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of this David Christopher eucalyptus, which I absolutely love. We're gonna be using it in a few of the DIYs, and I'm going to insert right here to the side, making sure that goes all the way down, and look how cool that is. And then I'm going to go over to the other side as well. I'm gonna cut it a little bit shorter, and I'm gonna spin it towards me so that I can see where I'm gonna put it. Right there. Look, that's just giving us so much more volume onto this beautiful basket. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of this beautiful glitter pine, and we're gonna add, well, some glitz and glam because, well, it's the holiday, so why not? I'm gonna add one stem, and look how pretty this is, you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna intertwine some of these beautiful glitters. This is a pine, it's a pine. It took me a second there. I'm gonna insert all the way around. Remember, we want it to spill forward. So I'm gonna add one right here. And then I'm going to travel back up like this. And remember to weave it in and out. So we're gonna insert some from the back over here and fan it out like this. All right, let me see forward. This is looking great. I'm gonna grab a few more elements. Oh my gosh, where are you? And I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so here is this beautiful basket on the front door, decorated on the Ralph Lauren inspired theme. I love the wicker texture. I love the beautiful pine cones and the touch of plaid, which really elevates the look. And then also this gorgeous eucalyptus from David Christopher. It really just adds so much to the door because it makes it look so much more taller and beautiful. Also the poinsettias and all of the glitter pine, it really adds this beautiful texture to this door. And I really hope that you enjoyed it and that you took a few tips and tricks on how to decorate your own door this holiday season with the Ralph Lauren theme. I cannot wait to come back with more, so stay tuned. All right, so the thing that I needed was a little bit more red. I feel like this is going to get a lot of character by adding some of these red glitter. I think it's a eucalyptus, don't quote me on it, but we're going to do some on the top, some on the bottom, and making sure that they go, and see, that's going to really add some light, which means it's going to catch the light. Remember to give it a little bit of a spin. And because this poinsettia has a lot of red, and then we have a lot of red on the ornaments, then we most likely need some other element with red. And if you know me, you know that I need also an element of glitter. So I'm going to add another one right here on the bottom, like that. And we're going to spin around, and we're going to do the exact same thing over on this side. And look at that, you guys. How absolutely gorgeous this beautiful centerpiece turned out. As you guys can see, it is super easy. I'm gonna give you a close-up, so keep watching. All right, you guys, so here is this gorgeous centerpiece. Oh my gosh, I love the color combination, the white and the red, and all of these beautiful sparkles really make a difference. Check out all of that glitter on this centerpiece. Those David Christopher poinsettias really do the trick when it comes down to making an impact. And I just cannot wait to read your comments. So be sure to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what part of this centerpiece was your favorite. And if you will replicate it, don't forget, you get your 10% off by using the code Ramon10 at checkout. I have one left, so I'm gonna put it to the side because I always like to keep at least one till the end, so that way we can have something to fill in. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put the poinsettias. Look at these magical poinsettias from David Christopher's. Is this not the most glorious poinsettia you've seen in your life? And it goes so well with this theme. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add a little bit of glue to it so it attaches to our beautiful swag. And I'm going to go right here. Check that out. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. I wonder if this is already glued or not. I think it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in. If it's not, it's going to bounce again, but I feel like I need to see the finished oh yeah, it is. Like that, see? And now I can put the other one in, because now that I have this one, I feel like it needs one more, probably over on this side. Oh, let me see. It's because I'm working forward that I can't. Actually, it needs it right about here. So we're going to add the last ornament that I have. I always try to add all of the ornaments that I have set apart for my project, because in my mind, that's just the way it works. I need this many. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some glue to this poinsettia. And so this one is looking to the right. So I'm not gonna go this one right here. I feel like it needs it right in here. Now this better if you grab it like that. Look how pretty. Make it look a little bit opposite the other one. And we have one more that we're going to attach to it. It's going to be this glorious poinsettia. Now, you guys, these poinsettias are from David Christopher, like I was telling you. Did you know that he hand designs all of this stuff? I don't know how he does all of them. I'm already tired by this time of the year, and this man is already working on next year's projects. And my respects go out to David and Jen, who do a fabulous job keeping us inspired. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab right here, and I'm going to go in between all of these guys all the way down. Maybe you have to move them to push this too, like that. Look how fun that is. So pretty. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring some picks in red. The reason why I'm doing red, so much red, is because the swag is white. And so I want to have that contrast, but this particular pick is what's really going to help us take it to the next level. So I'm gonna start right here on the top. You just have to make sure that it goes on to your form, the swag form. That way it's, well, it's going to stay in place. And I have to go over to this side right here. We're going to intertwine them in between all of the ornaments and the poinsettias and all of the things that we put in. And remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. So I'm gonna go right here. We're gonna start to fill in this whole swag. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying this Christmas season 2025. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're almost towards the end of the month, which means we get to enjoy finally the season. I know so many people decorate all the way up after Thanksgiving. Some of us like to start early, like myself back in May. And so we can give you all of the ideas, the tips and the tricks. And but at this point, I know there's so many of you that wait till the end of the season so that way you can start your decorating. And I'm just super excited for y'all that you waited this long, and so now it's time to decorate. Now you have all the ideas out from all of your favorite influencers, designers, Instagrammers, everybody out there who does this for a living. I just have to tell you that I take my hat off to you, because I know how much work it goes into setting up. Like if you are out there and decorating people's homes for the holidays, or if you have a channel or an account and you just inspire people, I mean, thank you, because I understand how much work, what a labor of love this is to do this for a living. So I'm gonna add one right here. All right, so I'm gonna add a few more towards the bottom. Look how pretty this is looking. What do you think, Jameson?
I love it. I love the classic red and white.
Jameson is loving the classic. Come and say hi. I know he's working hard. So tell us, what do you think about this particular look?
Oh, it's classic. You can't go wrong with it. I actually do like the red and white stripe. I think it gives a little bit of extra zip to it and a little bit of modern twist.
It's a little modern, yes. I love it. All right, thank you. Give it up. Give it up for Jameson, who is behind the cameras and who loves popping on. All right, so I'm gonna go over to this side. I'm working my way down, you guys. Oh, my dish is getting stuck with the glue, so I need to, there you go. So I'm gonna go all the way down to finish it off on this side, going all the way down. And I feel like I need another one. And luckily, I just have one left. So we're going to move on like this. And I'm gonna go over to this side, like that. All right, you guys, so here is this absolutely stunning swag that, oh my God, I'm so obsessed with. Check out these poinsettias and the little tails for the ribbon. Isn't that just a cute touch? I just have to mention also this beautiful David Christopher stripe ribbon and the sequin ornaments. Let me give you a close-up of these sequin ornaments. They're just absolutely beautiful, and that touch of greenery really does add, like I said, it's almost like a highlighter for your swag. I love the way this turned out. I really hope that you enjoyed it and learned a few tips and tricks, and we really hope to see you on our private group on Facebook, Ramon at Home Masterclass, if you want to learn how to do all these beautiful things. Okay, so let's do it again. Once again, we're going to fold up a little bit of a tail, and look how cute is this ribbon, you guys. I just love how it looks like a Santa outfit, but it has like little pom-poms. It is super cute and adorable. And I want to take a second, by the way, to say thank you to Janet Geese, who sent me an apron. You guys, I'm always telling you about my sisters, and she sent me an email and said that she had bought me an apron on Amazon, and I'm still waiting for it. So today we're recording this video on, what's today, Jameson? The 12th, and so it's supposed to be here by the 14th. So Janet, if you are watching this, just so you know, I am waiting for my apron, and next video I'll do a project, you'll see me wearing it. So thank you. You didn't have to do that, but I'm so thankful that you did, because, well, I'm always saying that I'm gonna get one and I never do. So I'm so glad that you took action for me, my friend. So I'm gonna add another one right here. And look, you guys, this ribbon, it really is filling up so quick. And I just love that touch, like I said, of this red Santa-like feeling. It is super adorable, and I want you to see the little polka dot, not the polka dots, but the little pom-poms on it. Isn't that just adorable? And it is made out of this felt. This ribbon is super affordable, super cute, and it really is making this tree look absolutely cute, and it's giving it that snowman Santa feel to it. And once again, just make sure that you cut this at an angle right here. Right? And so I think I have enough to do another one. I have another bolt that I'm going to pull out because I feel like I do need a little bit more to make it look cohesive and filled up. At the end of the day, it's all about filling up. And Jameson has a view month over here, Jameson. What do you think about this tree?
Classic, traditional, lovely red, silver. I love it.
Do you love
A
it?
little bit of extra little pop. I know you like the word pop,
The
but
pop, yeah.
I like to shine.
All right. Well, I'm so glad that you like it. Is it
Absolutely.
something that you would put in your house?
100%. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mi casa es su casa. That's hilarious. All right, so I'm gonna continue adding this red ribbon, and I forgot to tell you, this ribbon is from the at-home store from this year. So sometimes I have ribbons from at home from years past, but this one is from this year. And I don't know if you can still find it, because I went shopping when the items first came out. And you guys, I know I'm always telling you to shop when the items first come out, because then you won't be able to use it. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a tip right here. So when it comes down to my tree at the bottom, so what I want to do is I'm going to add my tail right here. Make sure that I swirl that wire. And I do want this ribbon to hang down. I think it looks more beautiful when it has a little tail hanging down like that. So I'm gonna do a few more. I'm gonna do one on this side, do on the middle. Question, do you decorate your trees all the way around? You know, I do for when we decorate the house. When I do it for display, like when I work at Shinoda or any other place that I know they're for displays, I don't, because they usually go against the wall. So I really don't. But when I'm decorating my tree at my house, you better believe that I'm going to decorate that tree all the way around. You never know who's going to go like this and be like, oh, it's like when you brush your hair on the front and it's all and it's all messy in the back. So that's not a good look, not even for the tree or the hair. All right, so I'm gonna grab another one, and I'm going to go over to this side, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I'm gonna put this guy right here. And as you guys can see, I'm leaving those tails to hang low. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. So now I'm gonna do a short one, just how I did with the white one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab myself a few shorter tails, and I'm going to make a 2-loop bow right here, and I'm going to cut a smaller tail. I'm gonna grab a wire, and I'm going to put it on the top, so that way it kind of blends in with the rest of my bow that I put on the top. So I'm going to go over to this side, and I grab this bristle right here, push it down, and look how fun that is. All right, so now that I have the ribbon all the way around, I'm gonna scoot down, and I'm gonna grab my last step for this tree, which is going to be this absolutely glorious poinsettias. Look how fun these are. These are from David Christopher's, and they're large, and they are in charge, and they're super glittery. I absolutely love them. Once again, you can get 10% off if you go to their website by using the code Ramon10. So I'm going to go ahead and install one right here, making sure that I push all the way down. And I'm going to go ahead and go all the way around the perimeter of this right here, and I'm going to add another one over on this side. Remember that I don't like them when they face forward. I like them to be a little bit tilted to the left or a little bit tilted to the side. All right, you guys, so here is this beautiful Christmas tree decorated on this candy cane, almost, oh my gosh, look at this ornament. Is that not just absolutely gorgeous? And how about the poinsettias? Aren't those beautiful? Look at all the glitter and the red. You guys, I wish you could see this in person. It really is so beautiful. All the pics. Who would think that there is a green tree under there, right? And the way it looks with the urn, it just looks so beautiful in this corner right here. I really hope that you enjoyed it and learned a few tips and tricks on how to decorate your very own Christmas tree, and you give it a try. I'm sure you know that when I'm decorating a Christmas tree, I have a 4-step process which indicates ribbons first, ornaments second, stems, florals, and picks third, and then at the end we add an accent ribbon. Well, we're going to use the same approach with this. We first added all of the ribbons, then we added the ornaments, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in some of the picks, stems, and florals to give it life. Remember that this particular swag, it's basically just to give us some place to attach to, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to start bringing in the greenery to give it lots of texture. And for that, what I'm going to do is bring this beautiful printed pine that I am obsessed with. And what you need to do is go all the way around. See how this one just ended right here? And so I'm gonna work all the way up. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter. I like them shorter, to be honest. I think that they just add a lot more texture when they're shorter. And then also we're going to add other types. So what you want to do is just add a little bit of glue to this, and we're going to go all the way around like this. See how that's bringing out the greenery again? I'm gonna go over to the other side and start right here. I'm gonna start by dovetailing this guy again. Sometimes, like I say, they're too long and they just need to be a little peekaboo or raven, not so much of it. But I'm gonna do the exact same thing. So I'm gonna grab some of this greenery and I'm gonna start right here on the bottom like that. We're going to end with one of those printed pines. And the reason why I like to say it's printed is because it looks, to me, it looks like it's a 3D print, one of those machines that now they have. It looks like somebody just copied the real thing because it looks so natural. And I just love, love, love it. All right, so I'm gonna go right here. Then remember to zigzag in and out, in and out. And some of them are longer, so I'm gonna cut them a little bit shorter, like I said. I want them to be short for display purposes. This is going to go inside the house, so I want them to be not as extravagant. Even though more is more, sometimes we do have to learn about balance, and the way we balance our items is by not having it too wild and crazy. Overloaded, sure, but just not too wild and crazy. So we want to bring them back up like this. And I'm gonna go right here to the back. Remember that it's going to be seen all the way around. So what we want is to be sure that it has all of these items all throughout. So I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna add one right here, like this. And then of course some to the top. And once again, if they're too long, just be sure to cut them a little bit shorter. Like this one, I feel like it is too long. So I'm gonna cut right here. You guys, I really truly enjoy sharing all of these ideas with you this holiday season, and I really hope that you enjoyed it this year as much as I did. Look at that one on the top right here. Isn't that pretty? All right, so then I'm gonna cut this guy right here. I'm gonna do two. Actually, I'm gonna do three. I'm gonna cut right here. Sometimes they're really hard to cut, sometimes they're easy, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter. Like I just like to cut a little bit out. I'm gonna add one right here. Like this, standing up, because we wanted to fan out like this. We wanted to have that, like that going around motion right here. I feel like I need one, like so. See, it's all about including that greenery between the ornaments, and that just adds so much texture. All right, I'm gonna stop right here with this one. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring some of this glitter fly away from David Christopher's, and I'm going to add right here. I'm gonna start once again, I'm gonna start right here on the bottom by adding right here. And this is what's going to bring all of that glitz and all of that glamour into our swag for our lantern. And you guys, this hot glue gun is leaving so many of these little strands, but no problem, we're going to correct that. We're gonna go right here. Look how pretty that is. It's all about zigzagging your swag, going in and out, in and out. And I think this is looking so pretty, so festive. To me, there's nothing prettier than like gold for the holidays. I mean, I love me a traditional look for sure, but gold to me is like, maybe because I'm Hispanic, we just love gold. I told a story at the show the other day how I had my bangles, my gold bangles, and when I was a little kid, I just love it when my aunts wore all of that gold. I was like, oh, it's so pretty. Look at that. Okay, so we're gonna go right here on the front. We wanna make sure that the front looks good. So I'm gonna add some glue. Once again, it's all about balancing your lantern. All right, you guys, so here is the end result of this beautiful swag on the lantern here in the living room. And I just love the way this looks. It adds a lot of impact. The top is absolutely beautiful. And the magnolias, along with all of the ornaments and picks and ribbons, really do add exquisite holiday cheer to this space. And I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what part of all of this was your favorite when decorating a beautiful lantern DIY. All right, you guys, so what I went ahead and got was some of this flocked cedar. I feel like what this needs is a little bit more snow on it. To tie in the bark container, what I'm going to is I'm going to add some flocked cedar. Now, this particular pick that I'm adding here is from David Christopher's, but this used to be a wreath that I took apart, and so I went ahead and just made picks out of it. And the way you do that is you just take that wreath apart and then you give yourself some picks and you fluff them. You have to sometimes trim them to make sure that they look more like a pick. But I'm always telling you to look at items, you know, in different ways. How else can we use this wreath that I already have? If it has, like, I don't know if you know, but some of the wreaths really do have really good quality stems, and so the way that I want to use them is like even this one right here, I could cut in half and do two. I'm not gonna do that today, but in the future we might. And look at that, just adding that flocked item, it really does add that feel of holiday to it. So now also this wreath came with some of this brush pine, and so I'm gonna add one right here, and it's all about flocking that beautiful centerpiece. I'm gonna add one right here. Look how pretty that is. It just adds that feel of a snow theme onto a rather green arrangement. All right, let me see, where else do I want? I think I'm gonna add this guy right here. All right, you guys, so here is the end result on this gorgeous centerpiece on the bark container. I want to mention, like I said, those picks that are flocked from the wreath. They really just add that beautiful holiday feel to it, and I just love the way this looks right here with the beautiful ornaments. And how about the item that inspired all these beautiful magnolias? Isn't this just absolutely gorgeous? I really hope that you enjoy this beautiful DIY and that you will give it a try for your home. All right, you guys, so here is the end result of this glam gorgeous wreath. Oh my god, it turned out so beautiful. I just love that layer of the last ribbon, this gold stripe. Look how beautiful that is. It is so three-dimensional, and these gorgeous David Christopher's magnolias just do an excellent job in interpreting the holiday season. I really hope that you enjoy this beautiful DIY. You give it a try, or check out my Etsy shop if you want to grab this one for your door. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start adding our ornaments, and so I'm going to start with some red ornaments right here. And remember to do clusters of 3s, 2s, and 1s. And I'm going to start with all the same ornaments. So remember that what happens on the right happens on the left. And I'm gonna go over to this side. Once again, you guys, we have to be gentle with these ornaments as we add them to our design. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab my ornaments over here, and I'm going to continue to add some of these red ornaments. We kind of cluster them together, and the way we do that is by adding one ornament at a time, one color, and that's also going to define how far out we want all of those ornaments to be. We're going to create that line. I think we're gonna stop right about here. And so I'm gonna switch over to the other side by adding some of these beautiful ornaments over on this side. And at this point, you guys, I want to invite you, so right on Facebook, if you come to Facebook, if you're interested in how to make wreaths, of course we have our masterclass group. And what that is a group where we teach every month. We teach 8 classes. Some of them are live, so we really are creating a beautiful community over there. And so the way that you can come and join us is if you go to Facebook and if you look for the post that is pinned to the top on our page, you can follow the instructions and you can join us on our masterclass group. Once again, it's a wreath making group, and we're teaching about 8 classes a month. 2 to 3 are live, and we're having a blast over there. It's almost like a party, really, because we have so many people who are in the wreath community and who are interested in learning how to create all of these wreaths. So it's a lot of fun. So I want to invite you, if you are interested in wreath making, be sure to check out the masterclass, Ramon at Home Masterclass, on my Facebook page. All right, so I'm gonna continue adding right here. And you guys, I am so excited to be doing this Ralph Lauren inspired theme, because, you know, I always tell Jameson that when we move to our new home, this is going to be the very first theme that I'll ever do. in our new house is going to be a very traditional Ralph Lauren because it's always been my favorite. I think of like the holidays in England. They just look absolutely magical. All right, so now that we have that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some poinsettias. So I'm gonna start attaching some poinsettias right here. We're going to fill in, and this particular one, the short ones, I'm just gonna go ahead and add right here like this. And I'm going to make sure that I go all the way out to like right here. Also, you can grab a bristle and then just spin it around right here. Just attach a little bristle to it. So I'm gonna go over to this side and I'm going to do a bristle around, and that's going to lock in that poinsettia on top, and it's not going to move. Now we want to really pack it with poinsettias because it's very indicative of traditional design. And if you've ever been to a Ralph Lauren store, you know that they do those big poinsettia bouquets, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna finish right here. Once again, you could glue them if you wanted to, but because this is for outside, I'm not gonna even bother. This is something that I can also tear apart and reuse all of my materials if I ever wanted to. But what I do want is to add a bristle around the neck of my poinsettia, and that's going to lock it in place. And I'm gonna put as many poinsettias as I want. I'm gonna add one right here to the top. You can add them, you know, that's one thing that I explained on the group, that you can always add your poinsettias looking to the left, looking to the right. But I never like to add my poinsettias looking straight at you because I feel like they look like reindeer in the headlights, I say. But we're going to add as many of these poinsettias as possible. Look how pretty it's looking, the very top filled in. And I think like we need one over on this side. Remember that what happens on the right happens on the left, so we always have to be moving around our design. I'm gonna attach that right there. All right, you guys, so here is this beautiful wreath DIY with a Ralph Lauren inspired theme. I love the way this looks. I love the exposed bottom to it because it really shows the lights, and I also love the ribbon combination with the poinsettias, the ornaments, and all of these lush picks of greenery. It just creates a beautiful look. I cannot wait to read your comments, so be sure to leave me a comment down below and let me know what was your thought, or what do you think of this beautiful wreath DIY Ralph Lauren inspired. All right, so now I'm gonna stop right here, and I'm actually going to put my candlestick to the side because I want to do a cute little bow. And so for that, I'm going to bring a wire and also a little stem that I'm going to attach with. And all of my tools are ready on the side, but I want something not too big because obviously this is not a big arrangement. So I'm going to get myself about a 4-inch tail, and then I'm going to do a sweet little loop like this. And then I'm going to bring it up. I'm gonna twist, and then I'm going to do, hang on, do I want a loop or do I? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do a one loop, and I'm gonna give myself a longer tail. That way it's going to look more elegant and not overpower the arrangement. So I like to use my loops, 3 loops, 2 loops, or 1 single loop. But in this case, because it's a smaller arrangement, I'm going to just do 1 single loop. So I'm gonna get a wire right here. I'm going to wire my loop really tightly. That's the secret, to do it really, really tightly. And then when you have your wire, what you need is a stem, and we can just swirl really tightly like this. Now this is a longer stem, but that's on purpose because you can always cut them short, but you can never make them longer, right? So I'm gonna cut right here. So I'm gonna put this right here to the side. I'm gonna bring my candlestick back into frame. And so I'm going to add my 1 loop bow right about here. And I'm going to insert into my foam and just push it all the way in. So this touch right here is gonna help us coordinate with the rest of the collection. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some poinsettias. Once again, these are the same poinsettias that we used all throughout our arrangement. I'm gonna start right here with this one. So I'm gonna put one right there, and then I'm gonna cut another one, but I'm gonna cut it even shorter. So remember that we do sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s. So I'm going to put right here on the back. As you guys can see, one's low, one's high, and I'm gonna bring another one. Now, when you're doing this, remember you have to cut them really short because there's not a lot of space for the foam. So what we need to do is just make sure that we push in really, really tight into our arrangement. And look how beautiful that already looks. Sitting up, this is what gives it the depth and the dimension, as you guys can see. All right, you guys, so here is the end result on this super cute candlestick arrangement. I just absolutely love the way this looks, and I'm going to move it real quick so you can see the little touch of ribbon right here. It really adds a lot to this beautiful Ralph Lauren theme inspired look, and it really ties in with the rest of our decor. I really hope that you found this inspirational and super easy to make. I promise you, if you give it a try, you're going to love it. All right, you guys, so I have pre-bowed some of this beautiful ribbon that we used on the tree, and so I'm going to go over to this side and I'm going to attach right here with my wire. And so I'm going to give it a little bit of a fluff, making sure that this goes up and down, so that way we have all of this texture. You can weave it in through your beautiful ornaments and all the things. So I'm going to put one right here. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add single loop bows all throughout my design right here. So I'm going to grab a bristle and just pull that guy right in, and look how pretty that is. So we're going to make sure that they just fluff like that. I don't want to be too constructed, because I feel like these organic designs, they need to be more, you need to let them do whatever they want instead of trying to really be too constructing on it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more right here to the bottom. And so I'm going to make sure that I have a bristle that has a good place to attach, and I'm going to leave that one right there. And see how that ribbon just goes all throughout and it makes it look so beautiful. So I'm going to do the other side now. So I'm going to go right in here maybe and attach to one of my good bristles like this and fluff. And so now I'm going to bring another one right about here. And look at that. I'm just gonna let those loops do whatever they want. No need to really thin it out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add the poinsettias, and it's going to really make it all cohesive. And be sure that you have them, remember that we don't want to see every single one facing forward. So we want to make sure that we have some laying down, we have some facing to the left, some to the right, but they all need to be attached to our garland right here. I'm gonna add this guy right here. So now I'm gonna go over to this side and I'm going to repeat. All right, you guys, so here is this beautiful lantern decorated for Christmas in the Ralph Lauren inspired. I went ahead and added inside a ring of poinsettias to the candle, as you guys can see, to tie it all in together. And I love the way this looks. It really matches the Christmas tree so beautifully, and is going to give you all of that lush look that you absolutely love. And I cannot wait for you guys to leave a comment so that I know what you think of this beautiful lantern here in the living room. I cannot wait to come back with even more DIYs for you. Stay tuned. Well, that's all we have for today, and we really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not even gonna ask, we sure did. I'm not even gonna ask Jameson which one's his favorite, because he always takes forever to answer. True. But I just wanna ask you guys, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share with your friends on Facebook,
Instagram,
and
WhatsApp.
Why? Because it is free.
And it helps
this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing. And as always, you can watch more videos right now. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.